Everything's good?
Yeah.
I bet. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Ship Across the Border. My name's Max. I'm here with Chris, and today we got on a Medaille College legend, Empire Rate champion. We're going to hear about where he's at now, what he's doing post graduation, about soccer, and about a bunch of different things. Welcome to the pod, Dante G.
Thanks, boys, for having me. It's great to talk to you guys again.
Hell
Um,
yeah, bro. What's been going on? What you been up to? So, I mean, talk about where you went after Medaille closed. Talk about who. Give a little elevator pitch. Who is Dante G?
so my name's Dante. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, um, and I went to Medaille University. Was a freshman in 2021, so I was there for freshman and sophomore year before we unfortunately closed. Met these two great guys there in that last year. Wish we would have had two more or three more for you guys, but unfortunately got cut short. Ended up transferring to Hartwick College in Oneonta, New York. So I did my junior and senior year there. Did pretty well there. Junior year was goalkeeper of the year, and then senior year was second team all conference and male athlete of the year for the college. So definitely was great 2 years there. Met a lot of great teammates, great friends there. And trying to basically try to turn a good thing or turn a bad thing into a good situation with Medaille closing, losing out on seeing a lot of friends that we made it within those short years together. Um, but definitely going to Hartwick, like made a lot of new friends and some friends that I'm gonna have for the rest of my life. So really blessed to be able to, do 2 good years at Medaille, meet some great people there that I still stay in contact with. And then, go to another school and kind of try to build that same bridge there too. So
For sure. From my memory, half the soccer team ended up at Hartwick too. Is that correct? Or maybe not half, but a good portion of your buddies.
yeah, we had it was me, Sean Burke, and Charlie Stewart.
Oh,
So
definitely thought there
um,
was more than just
yeah,
that.
it was
But
only three of us from soccer, and then
I
there's a
know
couple of students like
Zymir was there.
yeah, Zymir came, so other sports came as well, but from soccer it was just us three.
Yeah.
Was Harvard one of those schools that Medaille was going to match the tuition you were paying for, like after it closed?
Yeah, so a lot of the schools did the tuition match.
Yeah.
And Harvick was very flexible with that as well. So that ended up working out pretty well.
Is that the
That's
main
awesome.
reason you decided to go there?
Yeah, part of it was pricing. Like honestly, like out of high school, I only had Medaille was probably my only real offer. Like I think I had them, like an NAIA school, and then another school that kind of just showed interest. But other than that, kind of because of COVID, lost out on a lot of chances from schools. Nobody could go to our games during high school. Um, and it was just kind of unfortunate time to be recruited. So when Medaille closed, after we had 2 great years there as a team, winning the championship in 2023, sophomore year, and then going to the final freshman year, 2021, our team in that area in the conference was put on the map. And a lot of us, got a lot of interest right away from the portal.
Sure.
We had so many, good players on that team. And most guys found homes, and then some guys went back home. Just they were freshmen when we closed, and they didn't get the options they wanted, or they just wanted to kind of be done with college or take a year off. But luckily for me, I ended up getting I think 42 or 43 offers
Jesus
coming out of
Christ.
Medai. Um, so I mean that was the like one of the coolest things in my life. Like going from high school, like no one wanted me.
Make a
To
name for yourself,
then,
kid. That's
yeah, I
awesome.
mean it was so unexpected because I mean it came into this small school in Buffalo, New York. I've barely been outside of Massachusetts, but kind of talking to Coach Sean Hallis and telling him like I want to take this chance and I'm going to be your number one at some point. I didn't expect it to be freshman year, but kind of just going up. We had great competition at the goalkeeper position, and we all pushed each other very well. But I was blessed enough to get that starting spot, and then you know, um, going from not being wanted to then to transferring being wanted by everybody, all different divisions. Just a cool experience. So
Did you get any D1 interest? I know, bro, Anders, right? He went to Albany, and he was getting like
yeah,
all conference recognition. I don't know if it was like all conference team or just like player of the week for whatever position he's in at like the
Yeah.
Division One level in the America East, which is going from Medaille to America East is a pretty massive jump. I mean, he was a dog though. Didn't he like lead the country in scoring and
Yeah.
he was a dog?
Myself, him, and Celso were the first team our freshman year. So I mean, once like I saw him play Ander play freshman year, obviously being my teammate, being my striker, like he's just a dog. Like, and that was when we were 18.
Hmm.
Like he was just a dog. So when we knew he was going to Albany after before we even knew we were closing, he was already gonna be going up a division, or I guess up two divisions, but
For sure.
was not surprised at all to see him dominating there.
Yeah.
He subs on and he always just finds a way to score goals. So he deserved all the all conference recognition he got, and he's still playing right now,
Yeah.
back in Spain. And talk to him here and there, but he's looks like he's doing great. So
We actually have a kid here that reminds me very much of Anders. He's actually one of our close buddies, and we became close to him, I'd say, within the last semester. But he led the conference in goals and assists, and he was first team all conference. And I think the team wasn't great, so he didn't get player of the year. But like he, same type of like just absolute beast. Definitely could be at a better place. But yeah,
yeah,
so I mean, at the beginning of the year, like that's what we were saying. It's like, yo, this guy's like Anders, bro, because he was like he was leading the country in scoring, and
yeah.
just very very similar. Small world. What made you decide on Hartwick out of the 42, 43 schools that offered you? Did you have any Division One interest? If so, where? And yeah, what made you decide on Hartwick?
So I did have one Division One that reached out was Robert Morris, and we had played them at Medaille in the spring before we closed. We played them in a spring game, like exhibition match. So there's a couple of us that got reached out to by them through our head coach at Medaille. Um, and then I think that was the only D1 that I got interested in. Back in high school, junior year, I was interested in from Bryant and Northeastern. And then when COVID happened, it's just they couldn't come to any games, couldn't stay in contact. So
Yeah,
that all kind of fell through. But part of it also, and you could ask any of the guys that are on the team as well, like part of it, a lot of us got decent amount of schools, but I always like wonder how much more we would have gotten if we had closed at a different time.
yeah,
Um, because for soccer, we start preseason early August. Medaille closed, middle of May-ish, like May, I mean, probably close to around the time now.
yeah,
Um, so most rosters are set. Like you have your recruits picked, you have your transfers lined up. You
yeah,
don't expect the school to close and 42 guys to be available all of a sudden.
yeah,
So that was always a question I always had. But yeah, Robert Morris was one, and then a couple of decent D2s. I know Davis and Elkins was good at the time; they were one. And then a bunch of D3s, just because Empire 8 found out first, obviously that we were closing. All those New York schools found out, so they were kind of the ones that kind of jumped on all of us first. Um, but yeah, so Robert Morris was the one Division One, and yeah.
And then how'd you end up at Hartwick? Like, what about Hartwick was attractive to you to where you wanted to spend the rest of your, I guess, 2 years?
So part of it was like I was obviously blessed to get all three division offers. And obviously I wanted to go as high as I could go. But part of me was enjoy like I loved Medaille, not even just the school and the people, like soccer side of it was amazing. The level was great. Like I loved like being like a competitive player on the team, like getting good minutes, like putting in like good effort for the team, and kind of being like a player that like we looked on to like make stuff happen. And part of me didn't want to take the risk of going to a different division and maybe not liking it as much, or not getting the minutes I think I deserve. And then that leaves me at the end of junior year with either I got to do this over again or go transfer again. And I don't want to transfer three schools. I know Aaron Moretta, he had to transfer three schools, unfortunately, because after Medaille, I think it was Notre Dame College, his school closed again.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
in Ohio, right?
yeah, they had closed, I think the year after Medaille, or maybe
Yeah,
two, yeah.
that's brutal.
And he had went to transferred again to Cortland. So and he did great there, but like I didn't want to be at three schools schools, and I'm sure he didn't want to either, but he had no choice with it.
Yeah. We were but when we were like deciding where we were gonna go, I had a couple different offers, and I was debating between Elms, which is where we're at now, and a school called Wells College in New York.
Yep.
And Wells College ended up shutting down the year
Yeah.
after Medaille did, so definitely made the right call of extending our stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
couldn't
guys
even, I honestly
definitely
couldn't even
did.
imagine there's two schools. I probably would have gone back to Canada. Probably would have like,
I don't know what would happen, but it wouldn't have been pretty.
yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely
mean, at
would
that
have
point, you,
gone
you
back.
just look at yourself and you're like, am I the issue here? Like,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I've never even heard of colleges closing before I came
Yeah,
to
I mean, in
school.
Canada, there's only like 40 total four-year schools in the entire
Really?
country. So
Wow.
like these schools all have 60, 70,000 students. Like a small school is like 35, 40,000.
Wow.
And the
That's
big school is like, I mean, U of T,
It's 65.
100,
Is it 100?
including like masters and PhD and 100,000. Like it's
that's
humongous.
crazy.
So I've never even heard of a school closing just because there's so many people and so many like different opportunities at these schools in Canada. There's no such thing as one school, for example, like University of Toronto, has like a bunch of other schools inside of it, but it's under one body. So imagine like a Penn State, and you have Penn State Barron, Penn State Altoona, Penn State Harrisburg,
Yeah,
but they're all on the same campus or in the same area, if that makes sense.
That's
And so
yeah, that's
those small schools don't have sports teams. Only the main campus has a sports team, and the small schools are like, for example, University of Western is where my brother goes. University of Western Ontario, massive school, like 80,000 kids, and they have like a small private university called Huron, which is just like if you want to go to this school, but it's smaller classes, more like intimate with professors and with TAs, and just more like a Division 3 experience in terms of academics. But it's under the umbrella, and it's like a mile down the road from the main campus. Like there's not like all spread out, and it's a completely different landscape in education. So yeah, I never heard of a school closing either. But at
yeah,
that point, I was already in deep enough where I spent 2 years of high school in the States and 1 year of
Mm.
college, and it's like, well, I don't necessarily want to go back to school in Canada and just not. I was in too deep at that point, so I had to take a risk. But I mean, it seems like I
yeah,
paid. I mean, I wouldn't change the. I think I made a great decision. Obviously, Medaille closing sucked, but I'm very happy with how my 4 years played out and where I'm at now and everything. And I mean, it seems like the same as you. Right now, you're at Hood College, is that right? In New
yeah.
Jersey as a GA. So talk
Maryland.
Maryland. Maryland?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Are they not in the? They're in the same conference, like the MAC.
yeah. Mac Commonwealth.
That's like yeah. Okay,
So
that makes sense.
yeah.
So talk a little bit about where you're at now in terms of with Hood and what you're doing over there.
So after I graduated from Hartwick, my head coach over at Hartwick, Coach John Scott, had a connection over here at Hood College in Frederick, Maryland. He knew the head coach, and they were looking for a new grad assistant coach. Um, and Coach Scott recommended me to my now head coach here, Coach Jeff Moore. Um, and Coach Moore actually coached at Oneonta. He
Okay.
was assistant coach there, so that was kind of where him and Coach Scott made that connection. And he's grown up in Oneonta as well, so they've known each other for a while. And my coach at Harvard just told me, "Hey, like I don't know what you're planning on doing if you wanted to keep doing school," which I really didn't want to. I was kind of done after the senior year, but it was around this time last year. And he's like, I really think you should still look into this. It's a great opportunity to stay around the college game, and the grad assistant position. The benefits of it are amazing. Like, we get our tuition here, like we paid for. So we're getting our master's degree to do 2 years here. And then I also get to be like a grad assistant coach here and a goalkeeper coach here. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm finishing up my semester right now, and then back here in the fall.
That's awesome. How have you enjoyed it so far?
It's been great. It was definitely weird at first, going from coming into a preseason for the first time in for 4 years that I haven't been a player in college. So, going into preseason, setting up the fitness test and not getting on the line was a weird to me, and I'm the one telling them to go. But I wasn't too mad about that. But playing or watching them play, like, it's especially just playing recently, it makes you miss it a lot. And I still am playing right now. But when you're seeing it in the college game, it makes you miss it a lot more, but it also makes me like appreciate like what I had for those 4 years. Because it really does go by quick, and
100%.
just seeing like the relationships they're building with the team and seeing that from a different point of view as a coach now is it's awesome.
For
So
sure.
Is that something you planned on doing from like freshman year? Like you knew you wanted to go into assistant coaching position, or no?
no, honestly, I didn't know I wanted to be, or I didn't know I was going to take a grad assistant role till, the end of my senior year. Like I had no plans of doing grad school, no plans of coaching. Like I'm glad I'm doing it right now because I still don't know if I want to get into coaching after I graduate from here. But I'm glad that now I can actually like do it and see what it's like
For sure.
and before I make that decision.
What was your undergraduate and your master's degree in?
So graduated Hartwick with business administration, and then I'm doing my MBA here at
Awesome.
Hood.
Awesome. Is Hood a big school? A bigger school than Medaille and Hartwick?
No, I don't know the exact number. It's around the same though. It feels like that vibe of like the campus is a decent size, but everything's in the same. You know where everything's at. It's not difficult to get one place to another,
For sure.
and the students, like everyone, kind of knows each other, and the coaches are all close here. It feels like that family vibe that Medaille gave off.
For sure. Their basketball team had a phenomenal year this year. Is that right? They made it to
Yeah.
the Sweet 16 and lost to Trinity.
Hmm.
Is that right? Yeah, they're disgusting.
Fucking Trinity, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they were great to watch. Like obviously knowing a couple of guys on the team now, getting to know them, and knowing the grad assistant and the coaches as well. But they were great. They hosted for the first time. They hosted the NCAA tournament first round for the first time ever, I think, this year. So getting to see an NCAA tournament game hosted at my school, which was awesome.
How was that?
Um,
Who'd they play?
they played, so I think it was Susquehanna played
Hmm.
against Vassar. And then I forget who we played in the first round, but I know um, we played Redlands, and their team out of California, I'm pretty sure. They were pretty good, and to knock them off was a big accomplishment. They had made it to the second round. That's when we beat them, and then we went on to go to Trinity, where we ended up losing. But
That's
Trinity,
awesome.
obviously, at the time was what, number one in the country, I think,
Yeah. Yeah.
in D3. I mean,
We played
they're
Trinity the last 2 years and not pretty game. Not
I'm
pretty
sure
at all.
they're
They're disgusting. How was the
yeah.
Hood soccer team this year?
So this past year, we actually had a huge turnaround. We were 10-6-2, if I'm right. Um, it was a huge turnaround from last year. I think last year they only had like 4 wins, something like that. So this team was what I'd like to say is like the start of like a new era here for men's soccer here. Coach Moore is it's only was his third season, I think, as a head coach or second here. Um, so as we start to get more, like he starts to get more recruiting classes in that he's fully in control of now, and then working with the guys we already have, like it was just a great mix of guys this year, and made it to the conference playoffs for the first time, I think, in 10 years. And it's a lot different here than the Empire 8, where it's only 4 teams make it in the playoffs, and there's 8 teams in the conference, I think, or maybe 6. I'm not sure how many total, but only 4 make it. So we have a conference where we're playing against Messiah. Messiah is one of the best teams in the country. They've always been. Um, and then we got Stevenson and York. They're all top teams every year. So it's like we kind of were fighting for that, 3 and 4 spot. And we took care of business with the guys below us and like made it into the playoffs. Unfortunately, lost to Messiah in the first round, but we're next year we're expecting more than 10 wins next year. We have good recruiting class coming in. Our core guys are returning. We're missing some seniors, but returning the core guys, and I think this group's going to be very good next year.
That's awesome. I got a question about what makes a team, I guess, successful. So obviously you're part of a very successful team at Medaille, and then I assume Hartwick team was also a very competent, competitive team in the Empire 8, and then obviously now you said you were helped or were a part of the program as it's kind of turning around, winning the most games, in the last 10 years, making the playoffs, all huge accomplishments. Do you find any things that are similar among those teams that contribute to a successful unit?
Yeah, something I take from Medaille, like wherever, whatever team I play for, help like coach, whatever it is, um, every day you like we stepped on the practice, like to go to practice at Medaille, like it felt like a championship game. Um, and that was kind of the culture that our coaches built for us, and us coming in as freshmen just accepted that culture right away. And same thing with sophomore year. Like it just felt like if we had played for 4 years, we were winning the championship those last two. Because it's just the level we were at with 40 something guys on the team. Like if you were, you had an injury and you're out, you were a starter, you got injured, like there's a guy right behind you that's ready to do your job, maybe if not better, because he's been itching to get that spot from you. And in the most competitive but like friendly way, like everyone wants to play, obviously, but like the whole team, all 40 of us want to win. So it's like the guy below you doesn't want you to mess up. Like he doesn't want you to fuck up. He wants you to be the best you can. But when it's his time to get in there to help the team out, he's gonna make sure he does it. Um, and that was the vibe it kind of felt there was always good competition. There was always someone ready to play. And every practice was like, if you don't play your A game in practice, like you might lose your spot. And I like that mentality. It kind of brought that a little bit to Hartwick where, it started to get like that, where guys were really pushing each other for spots. Because ultimately it just makes us better. And then it's kind of what I wanted, what I brought here and still attempting to bring here is like they're used to a culture from before, not winning many games and, not really caring. It's just, oh, whoever plays, plays. Like it doesn't really matter. We're trying to change that here. And this year was a big step forward for that. And I think that's something that I just carry over from the days of Medaille was like, that's something I'm going to carry with me any team I'm with.
For sure.
So.
Could you see yourself transitioning into a full time role, like as a coach, after you're done with your grad assistant situation?
I think so. If I were to be a full-time coach, I feel like I'd want to be full-time goalkeeper coach. I feel like I mean, that's the area I know the best, and I honestly enjoy doing that. I don't know if I'd want to be a head coach right away, or I mean, I don't know if I'd want to be one. Um, but I like the vibe of being a part of the team and being an asset to it. But I like focusing on my core group. My goalkeeper this year. He was a freshman. He was the rookie of the year in the conference. And working with him, he made it very easy to work with him. He listens. He learns very quickly. He's ready to admit when he's wrong. Like he's ready to um, do whatever it takes to be better each year. And that's all I ask for in players. So.
Mhm.
You said you're still playing soccer. Talk a little bit about that. It's just like a men's league, or are you playing competitively still? How are you still involved in the game yourself?
So I play for FC Buffalo, their USL2 team out in Buffalo, New York. We play from around May to July. It's classified as semi-professional, but it's a great team. It feels like a pro team with the atmosphere. Like the city of Buffalo doesn't have a pro soccer team, so they look at us as like their pro team to go watch for the local people.
Hmm.
So it's great the fans we get and the community just showing out at games over the summer. It's awesome. And last year was my first year a part of it. It was a great year. Like the kids from all the camps come out, they ask for autographs, they want to come on the field and do everything. It's like it's nothing I experienced ever in college because you don't really get that atmosphere, especially like D3 college. You won't get that atmosphere. Um, so it was definitely something new for me last summer, and I'm going there. Our preseason actually starts in 2 days out in Buffalo, so I'll be going there in a couple of days. So
That's
excited
amazing.
for that.
Is there any other Medaillers on the Buffalo team? I know obviously Medaille was in Buffalo, and
Uh-huh.
some guys stayed around that area as well, upstate New York, and are any of them your teammates on that team?
Unfortunately not. Ander was on the team 2 years ago now. Um, So I did unfortunately miss him by 1 year. I talked to him about that. I joined the team after, and Coach Hallis and the Medaille coaching staff were the coaches at FC Buffalo that year too. So I did unfortunately miss that year with them. And my guy Sean Burke's still out in Buffalo, so I'll be seeing him this summer for sure. And but yeah, none of those Medaille guys are on the current team this year, unfortunately.
What's stuff been like outside of soccer? What you be doing? Hobbies, life, general career outside of GA and everything else?
Well, I mean, you guys know I love basketball, so I'll always be playing basketball. I don't have Max to film my dunks anymore, unfortunately.
We were
Still
getting in the
on my
lab.
Instagram,
We were getting.
but
I said we were getting in the lab. You
yeah,
definitely were. You were definitely dunking. I've seen this a couple of your stories. You've thrown a couple down out
oh
in the
yeah,
Hartwick
I
gym
had
and
to
in the
get
Hood
one.
gym.
I had to get one at each school so far, so we got one at each. But hopefully that's more consistent. But no, I love playing basketball. I found some people out here that there's some open runs in the other gym over here. So I hop in with those on the free time and play basketball a lot. Play basketball with the GAs, the other grad assistants here. Um, Starting to get back into golf now that it's summer. Not the best, but we'll get there hopefully.
I can feel that.
Yeah, this is my first year golfing. I've probably played 4 rounds or 4 like 9-hole rounds in my life. The
Yeah.
last 2 of them coming within the last 4 days, probably. So
Uh-huh.
very, very recent, but definitely enjoying it.
Yeah, you gotta the thing about golf is like you obviously you enjoy it more when you're actually good at it.
Yeah,
So when I'm having a couple good hits, I'm enjoying it, but that's why I like a scramble because then I don't have to
yeah.
be relied on. So
That's all we've done so far. That's all I've participated in. I think we played 13 holes and we used my shot maybe like 8 times. That might be generous.
Purely for
that's
pace of
good.
play, just for the pace of play and people behind us, we have to play the scramble, or else
Yeah.
it's gonna be an 8 hour
I
round.
did have a big moment in our last game.
He hit a birdie putt. It was on a 120-yard par three. I put us like 35 feet pin high, and he just
Yep.
jammed one. I mean, like if it didn't hit the hole, it was going off the green into the other fairway, and it just hit the back of the pin and just dropped into the hole.
Banks open on a Sunday.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun. But do you know what your handicap is?
No, no.
No, just
I haven't played a actual round actually this whole year. The last time I played a full round was probably back in the summer. I just been hitting the range here, and um, part of me like I wanted to go and play around, but like the people that are playing here, like some of the guys on the team, they're actually good, and I'm not trying to go out there and embarrass myself already. So
yeah.
I'm gonna wait till like, maybe after the summer.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm on the golf team here, and so like I'm shooting like maybe mid 90s. I have a really good day, and they're
Okay.
shooting on their bad days like mid 80s, good days like mid 70s. And so like no matter when we go out, I'm gonna be dead last pretty much every single time. So
It's worth it
Hey,
for the
good
free
for you
golf
though,
though and
join
the
the game.
lessons.
it is
You think
free.
you've definitely gotten better.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it's about.
Did
Left.
you
Me
did
too,
you
dude.
always golf, Chris? Did you always golf or
No, it's just kind
join the
of
team this
it's
year?
one of those things that happens. Like you retire from one sport, and then you're looking for something else to do, and then you have like these weird like I pick up weightlifting, and then I pick up golf, and it just kind of seems to be the natural path of an athlete. Like once you're done with one sport, you just sort of step into golf, if not something
Yeah.
else. And so after we transferred here, I got really heavy into weightlifting. Like I gained
Yeah.
30 pounds, got really fat, started benching really heavy. And then as I started to lose weight, my one buddy back home, he's really big into golf, and he's been waiting for someone to actually pick it up and for like the whole friend group to kind of adopt it, and it all kind of just
Yeah.
happened naturally at the same time. And then
You did also work at a golf course, which definitely helped.
I did, and I also got an
Um,
email from the golf coach. He was asking if anyone would like come play for the team, and like because they just need guys at this point. And so
Small school stuff,
Yeah,
the
so-
niche sports at the
I
small
feel it.
school is
so
definitely
I got asked by a
need
few
buzz.
people, and I was like, I just started. I don't want to go out there and shoot like 150 and just embarrass myself. But then I started to
Mhm.
get decent, and I played throughout the winter. Like they have a little net here with a pad of like a fake grass, turf, and so
Yeah.
I could just like hit into the net and get decent. And then joined the team this fall, and so it's kind of just exploded from there. And now I'm definitely addicted.
Dude, he's just hitting his
Yeah.
club in the room all day, just like smacking against the floor, just like.
Just trying to get shallow. I want to get here and just drop and slotted. And
That's how it is.
yeah.
Yeah, what else have you been doing? Keep yourself busy over there. What else have you picked up since you've been done playing soccer, at least in college?
Um, Not really picked up anything new, just be on the game on 2K.
Yeah.
I got back into 2K this year. Me and my friend groups from back home. All decided to get 2K randomly back in the winter. And then, got addicted to that. But I'll always be playing video games with free time. Um, and then yeah, this past week, me and a couple of GAs were out there playing catch baseball. because the weather's been nice and
Yeah,
I love when this time of the year comes around, go out and just throw the baseball around.
sure.
So yeah, doing kind of everything.
You play any board games over there?
Board game,
We've become over here like board gameaholics. Like you know the
really?
game Settlers of Catan? Have you heard of that game before? It's called Settlers of Catan.
No. Uh,
It's like a Monopoly type of game,
on steroids.
but like on steroids and like very cutthroat and also more like instead of moving rigidly around the board, you kind of like move through the board and like you kind of get to choose where you move and you have to like screw people over in order to
You don't have to.
and
That's just the way
that's just
you
how
play the
Max
game. That's
plays.
just the way
yeah.
that
That's how
Max
Max
plays the
plays.
game.
All right, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a really fun game. We also played the game Code Names recently. Have you heard of that before?
No.
It's kind of like
Catchphrase
and
slash.
connections. You know what connections is like on New York
Oh
Times?
yeah, yeah,
It's kind
yeah.
of like catchphrase and connections kind of combined. Basically, there's like 25 words, and there's a specific pattern on a card representing the 5 by 5 grid of words.
Yeah.
And I have a specific amount of I have like 8 or 9 that I have to try and get my partner to guess. Chris has about 8 or 9 that he has to get his partner to guess.
You only have one word to
And
get them to connect multiple
you have to, yeah, you have
words.
to say one word, and you have to try and connect as many words as you can to one word in order to hopefully get all of your words, I guess, guessed or unrevealed before the person. So it's yeah, that's been very very fun too.
We got mad nerdy after
Yeah,
Medaille
we got
College.
mad
We
nerdy.
just,
We got
just
mad
started
nerdy.
diving into fucking board
And
games.
spike ball, we play spike ball.
Spike ball
Oh
is
yeah.
crazy.
He's disgusting now. He started off as the worst, and just like the game plan was just send it at Chris, send it at Chris, send it at Chris.
Damn.
And then now he's gotten so good. We have one of our buddies like introduces us to all these
He
different.
just keeps handing us new hobbies. Like he showed us
Yeah, you guys.
Catan, showed us Codename, showed us Spike Ball, showed us
And we just
UFC.
yeah,
And
we've
like
been playing UFC too. I'm so terrible, but
we,
I've never tried. I mean, I'm surprised you guys hadn't tried spike ball at all.
I've
Like you've
played
never.
before.
I had dabbled, but
Yeah,
like
I've played
now
before.
I've got my TikTok for you page is just straight professional Spike Ball. Like guys
Yeah,
diving on the ball, hitting it up, and they have these. We're debating buying like the $120 net with like the ball. You can do crazy spin on it.
it's
Like
worth it.
we're just,
Like
it's getting weird. It's getting
Yeah, I mean,
strange.
listen, dude. Hartwick's also, I think, a little bit of a bigger school than Elms is. I think Elms is more similar size to Medaille.
At least for the people that are on campus, I would assume you
So
guys have
it's a
more.
very heavily commuter school because it's in Springfield, and
right.
there's not a ton of like residence, I guess, opportunity. There's like 2 or 3 buildings, and a
Right.
lot of people commute. There's also like a really big nursing school, and a lot of the nursing people like work, I guess, at a hospital or whatever, like relatively close to that. A lot of people commute.
Yeah.
And so the on-campus community is smaller. So there's not as many things to do, and like there's no frats on campus. There's
Mhm.
very limited things to do, I guess, outside of make your own fun. So we play board games, we play spike ball, we throw the ball around. There was actually a three. You would have loved this. You would have ate this up. There was a 3-on-3 intramural co-ed basketball league
Oh.
in the spring,
We got
and
hosed for.
yeah, well, we can talk about that in another episode. But basically, there's a class, a sports marketing class, or a sports what's the class called?
I think it's just marketing. It's capstone course.
Yeah, it's a capstone sports marketing course, and you basically the whole year projects you have to plan an event. So last year there was like a cornhole tournament. This year they did an intramural 3-on-3 league. And I think this is going to stick. Like the whole campus popped out. There's probably like we made it to the final weekend, so the final four and finals,
Mhm.
and there was probably 100 people like in the gym just
There might have been more people at this than there was at
yeah,
actual
honestly,
basketball games.
potentially there was more people. Definitely students. Obviously, there's families and stuff at the basketball games, but like there's probably 150 students just watching. It was crazy. It was
That's
crazy,
awesome.
and it's FIBA style. So my team was me, Chris, and then like 2 of my teammates from the basketball team. Then there's another team of guys on the basketball team. There's a couple guys who play on the basketball team in the last 2 years and are finishing their masters, and they had a team. And
Yeah.
men's volleyball, women's basketball.
Women's basketball coach.
Women's basketball coaches had a team. There was a bunch of different men's soccer teams, men's baseball teams, and it was just a whole. It was awesome. It was 9 to 11 every Thursday night, and it was actually you would have loved it.
Bro, that sounds awesome. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, that sounds great.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So back onto like the, I guess, life path and what you want to do where do you see yourself in 5 years? Whether it's using your degree in business or coaching soccer or maybe playing professionally in soccer somewhere.
I mean, obviously the goal would be to play like as it's always been going into college. is to play soccer at the highest level. I don't know what that highest level is, and I want to keep exploring that while I'm in, early 20s. But like right as of right now, the USL 2 is the highest level I've played at, which is what I'm in right now. The next level would be USL 1, and that's professional. So even just to, I say just make it there, like it's right there, but that jump from USL 2 to USL 1 is very big, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. But if I could get to that level, obviously if I can get there, I want to keep going, see how high I can go. But if I can get to that level, I'd be very happy no matter when I get there. So preferably that's where I'd want to see myself in those 5 to 10 years. But and if not, if that's not the case, it's not the cards played. Having the masters in business will be, or having the MBA will be helpful. Um, Maybe looking into like marketing jobs or something like that.
For sure.
But yeah, not really sure. But
Do you get
yeah.
financially compensated at the FC Buffalo?
So they do have some like housing options. And then, obviously it's you don't pay anything to play there, like it's all paid for. Which is the cool thing about that. Because I know UPSL is like another level of semi-pro. That's what I used to play back at home. And UPSL can be really expensive, like because those teams are not really fully built up yet. And also the range of UPSL can go from, it's all across the country, but
Hmm.
there can be, just startup teams. There's a lot of newer teams in that. And most of them don't have the money to be able to pay their players to do this and this and that. But luckily at FC Buffalo, they do well where they give us a lot of, like we get gear, we get, most, like some of them get, of us get housing. But yeah, we don't get like an actual paycheck, which would be nice, but it's a great opportunity, even
For
just being
sure.
a part of it. It's awesome.
100%. You got anything else? Because we
Yeah.
got.
Well, obviously we end the Zoom and then get him on another Zoom because I have
Yeah,
something to
I
do.
bet we're gonna end the Zoom and we're gonna get you on
I bet.
another Zoom. We'll probably send it over maybe in hopefully 5 minutes. You just have to wait for this one to load and save. So it should be about five
I bet.
minutes. I'll send you another link in the IGDM again.
All right.
I bet.
Recording in progress.
Alright.
All
What you
right,
got?
so yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not super familiar with the pro, semi-pro soccer scene. So like, you guys travel for games similar to kind of college? Like you're going all around local New York areas, or are you going like all the way to Los Angeles or like crazy shit?
So it's still kind of like college where it's like in the regions. So like I think the furthest game we played last year was Toledo,
Okay.
and
That's
it's
Ohio.
out,
Yeah.
yeah, Ohio. So and that trip was probably like, I don't know, 4 hour. It was a long trip. I remember it probably being like 4 hours. Um, but we played against Akron. Um, then we played we played some teams in Pennsylvania, like Erie, Pennsylvania. One of our games was at Penn State Barron, so a little weird one there because we played against them at Medaille, so it was kind of a little throwback there. Um, but and then we play play some other New York teams. But yeah, it's nothing like too crazy with the travel. But if we make it to that playoffs, we beat our region opponents, then that's when we'd start going further out. So kind of like the same way college works.
Mm.
For sure.
So
So for you to sort of climb the ladder into that higher level professional scene, how does that work? Like, what would you have to do? Like, do you have to reach out to an agent? Like, how do you go about doing that?
honestly, that's a good question. I think for me, the way I've been seeing it is kind of treating it the same way I did through high school and college, where it's like if you perform, no matter where you're at, like people are gonna notice you. And high school. I was in a small high school, so Linfield, Massachusetts. That's where my hometown, about 15 minutes outside of Boston. But I'm not going to get a lot of recognition there, unless like you really, really stand out. And you might stand out within the town, but doesn't mean it's going to be colleges seeing it. But then same thing with college, like you play these different opponents in different areas, you perform well, people talk about you, and then they reach out. Um, so it's kind of the same idea with the USL too, I feel like is, when I have that good season in the USL too, where it's like coaches of USL one teams will see that, or, people will see that and be like, okay. he had a good season in USL too. Like now can he translate that to another level? So that's how I kind of saw it. And same thing with college. When you're transferring, you have a really standout D3 player, and then D1 coaches, D2 coaches will reach out if they're in the portal. Like, okay, now can that translate to D2? Can that translate to D1? So I treat it kind of the same as that.
So this might be a very stupid question,
Probably is.
but I know nothing
Go for it.
about. I don't know anything really about soccer or the professional landscape, even in like Europe and like with the big names. So Messi, who's the one that plays in Miami right now?
Messy.
Messi, right?
Messi. Yeah.
What league is that in?
So that's the MLS. So Major League
So
Soccer. It's like the American Professional Soccer League.
so where does the USL one compare to the MLS?
So there's a soccer like pyramid, and it's always confusing because there's always so like many leagues around the world that are professional that you
Really?
don't even know. Like it's so different than any other sport, I feel like. And it makes sense to be confused about it. Like it's not easy to understand it, but like basically from the top of my head, it's you have your NCAA and your colleges at the bottom. Then you move that into the semi-professional. So you go like, UPSL, NPSL, all that stuff. Then USL 2 is right there. And then USL 1's that jump. Then I think it's USL Championship. And I think there's even one above that. And then it's MLS. And that's the pyramid for the US.
Mhm.
So the MLS, if I'm not mistaken, is the highest level of soccer you can play in the US.
How
But then
much
obviously,
money is someone in
well,
MLS? How much money is someone in MLS making? Not Messi, obviously, because he's on, but a standard player.
I don't really know. Like I don't look into too much of the MLS. Like I actually don't watch a lot of soccer. And like I watch basketball all the time, like Celtics all the way.
Mhm.
Brutal, brutal.
Unfortunate. Raptors just lost in Game 7 too. So
Yeah, I was gonna say we're in the same position here. So but obviously I watch more basketball. Like I don't really watch much soccer, but yeah, I mean Messi is like a different class. Like those guys are getting paid so much money to come back, go backwards. They're playing at the highest level in the world to now go backwards, but they're getting boatloads of money to do it. So,
Mhm. So if
yeah.
someone was killing it in the MLS, how hard would it be for them to transfer that to go to Europe?
I mean, if you're, balling out in the MLS, like those Premier League teams, those other professional leagues out in Europe are going to see that. And a lot of the times you have players that, go to the Premier League or in academies and play there. And then, they're just not that they're not doing good, but maybe the guy ahead of them is doing a lot better. Like goalkeepers, it happens a lot. Only one can play. So then they go backwards to the MLS and they start balling out there and then they can even go back. So it's a lot of moving around for some players, but
Mhm.
same as in any sport.
you think Tatum could have played in Game 7, or they thought they had an easy win and they're at home. Obviously, they're better team on paper in terms of record, and they're up 3-1. You think that they
Um,
thought that they had an easy win, they didn't need to risk Tatum getting hurt, or you think that Tatum couldn't have played?
See, I'm glad you asked this now because we could do a whole episode about the Celtics. We could do this all day. Um, I think yes. See, I'm not a delusional fan. Like I feel like I'm not, at least maybe I am. Um, I think if Tatum plays that game,
Definitely
it's
win.
I think so. I don't want to say definitely because you never know. Like if he's having, he made record time coming back from a very serious injury, one of the worst injuries in basketball. And he looked like he was doing great, but then the second you see that soreness, I think it was his knee actually,
Yeah, it
but
was.
whatever, you see him sore in anything. I don't blame the medical staff for keeping him out because you got to look at the future. And like, if he had done something again in that game 7, like that's double the amount of time it's going to take to recover.
It was a
Um,
different part of the body. It wasn't his Achilles. It was his knee.
yeah. So I mean, I just think it's with any injury, like
Didn't
it's
Ant
scary
just
with
come back
them.
too?
Yep.
Ant had
And
Well,
a
was frying.
Ant
yeah,
Anthony
and
Edwards. He had a knee
come off the
injury. Came
bench
back
too.
and yeah, he came back and played in what Game 1, or was it Game 7?
Game one. I think this.
Yeah, game 1 in the next round.
Yeah, he
I
dude,
think if they went to
fucking
7, I think if
killing.
the Nuggets won Game 6 and they were going to Game 7, Ant was gonna come back. I'm not gonna lie, Ant's a dog.
Yeah, yeah, no,
So
and
maybe
that's what I wish Tatum would have done. But then again, like I feel like it wasn't his call, and I think the medical staff obviously overrules his call.
What about
Um,
Missoula starting Baylor Shireman, Luca Garza, and Ron Harper, and keeping
um,
Pritchard and what's his name Hauser on the bench to start, and the I guess starting big man. I don't know his name.
Kada,
Yeah,
Demias Kada.
yeah,
Um, I was a little surprised. I love our role players. Like they're
yeah.
young
Hell yeah.
guys. I'm not expecting them to go out and drop 20 in a game 7 elimination game. But starting them, I don't know. Um, Ron Harper Jr. I watch him a little bit when we're blowing out teams in the regular season, and I think he's good. I don't think he's worth a start.
In Game 7,
In a game 7, like
he
after
should
we're
have just
down
started Jordan
3-1.
Walsh and kept this regular rotation.
See, Walsh, I would have liked to see start because Walsh is such an elite defender, and I actually really like watching him guard Maxey, especially him being that young, and he's like you're asking him to guard one of the best point guards in the league. Like, I mean, at least definitely in the East, but
For sure.
arguably in the league. But yeah, I don't know. And Baylor was doing good off the bench, but you can't put him in that starting role and expect the same. I just don't. I didn't agree with that.
Yeah.
Um, Garza, I was
Well,
fine with. Vucevic, I'm fine sitting on the bench. I didn't want him to take his warm up off. I was good with him chilling on the bench. Like I was like
yeah,
every
but
time I
don't you?
pan,
What's
I
that?
was fine.
There's a like a big man, another big man who's starting for them. Garza was
For
the third
Celtics,
big. Okay, I went to a
yeah.
Celtics game. It was
Mhm.
when they blew out the Pelicans, and they almost broke the 3-point record. And Missoula
Mhm.
wouldn't let them break the 3-point record like inorganically,
Yep.
and so they tied it. And their starting lineup, they like started their regular lineup. Just Tatum was out, so it was White, Brown, Walsh. Um, it was Sam Hauser, and it
Yeah.
was this other guy.
It wasn't Kada, 88.
I think it was tall, dark skin guy.
Yeah, it had
Yeah,
it had to have been him. I don't think we had
yeah,
another big
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
year.
So he was big one. Vooch was big
Yep.
two, and
Yep.
Garza was big three. So I don't
Right.
know how no one got hurt, and Garza ended up starting in a game 7. Great player, but to match up with
I
Embiid,
mean,
Joel
yeah.
Embiid, tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Well, yeah, the issue we didn't have anyone to defend him because all our bigs couldn't defend him, and Cato was the only one that was putting up a good chance, but he gets in foul trouble too easily. So you can't. He's doing everything right on the offensive side, and he's doing his best on defense. But
Yeah.
you get 3 fouls like quick like that, you just can't play him. And then Vucevic and Garza just couldn't do anything. And Vucevic was, I was really mad with how he played this series. We got rid of him for Simons, and I'm not saying Simons would have made like won us the series, but like he was a dog, and I actually
He's a
really
good
miss
player.
him.
He's a good player.
Mhm.
And yeah, Vucevic wasn't getting it done. So,
Do you have a pick now for the team you think's going to win it all? That the Celtics are out.
ooh, like I don't want to say the Thunder because that's just like what everyone will say.
Hmm.
So I'm trying not to say them, but they are like they're
They're
just
hard. They're
good
so
at
good.
everything. They're good
It's
at
hard.
everything. And they're just there's no flaw in their game on any side of the ball. They just do everything good, and their chemistry's good. Like they're literally like the ideal team. So
Yeah.
probably have to say the Thunder, but I don't know.
I'd
The
love to see
Timberwolves.
LeBron get another one. I'd
Oh
love to
yeah,
see LeBron get
yeah.
another
If
one.
it's not LeBron, I'd love for it to be either Edwards or Wemby. To be honest with you, that's my
Well,
top
they're
three.
Yeah, I
playing
don't
each
think I
other.
want any
Yeah,
Eastern
like
team.
I think honestly, whoever wins that series,
The Knicks look pretty damn dominant right now. I can't lie. They just
they're
like
cursed. They're cursed though.
Yeah, no,
I mean, they
I
just
can't root
50
for
for
I hate the
40 piece.
Knicks.
Yeah, I understand that, but
So
yeah,
I can't root for anybody really in the East right now.
I wish the
The
Raptors
Knicks
won
Sixers
too.
series is bad.
I wish the Raptors won. Raptors have such a
Yeah,
fun
but
team,
I think even if they win that,
Yeah.
they're probably getting.
even though because they're such underdogs. Like they have Scotty Barnes is even like an underdog, like superstar. Like he's not the most flashy player. He's a little strange. We'll
Yeah.
keep it at that. But
Yeah, fair.
they're such an underdog like team, and they're just gritty.
But even if they win that, they're getting punched in the next
No,
round.
bro. By who? They're playing the mat. They're playing the 5 seed. They're playing the Sixers.
You think they really have a chance to beat the Sixers after barely scraping one together, almost against I think a worse
Depends
team?
how healthy Embiid is.
Wait, no,
Yes.
it would have been the Pistons, right? because
Yeah,
the Cavs in
it would
Toronto
have been the
played.
Pistons.
That might have a
The
chance.
Yeah, it would have been
But
the
I still think
Pistons.
they have a chance to win it all, even if they win that one somehow.
I think they could have gone to the. I thought
Conference
if the
finals.
Raptors won, they were gonna meet the Celtics in the conference finals.
Conference finals. Yeah, I
Unfortunately,
could
both
see
of them
that.
lost. But I think the
I
Raptors
was
got a good young core, so hopefully they can keep it together. We also didn't have Ingram for the last two games, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And
That's
he's a really
fair.
big piece of our offense.
So injury prone.
Yeah, unfortunate. I love watching him play. I went to a game when I was at home during March break, and he just plays
Yeah.
like they hate when I say this. I
He
say
might be Brandon Ingram's biggest fucking fan.
bro, he
Like
plays
KD.
like
You said KD.
yeah, but he plays like a KD in with like I guess yeah, a little bit of like KD, a little bit of Kobe mix, but like a poor man's version of both of them. But because he's a poor man's version of KD and Kobe together, it makes it like even
Yeah.
more enjoyable to watch because it's like it's niche, you know?
Mm.
Like when he
Yeah.
gets a bucket, like very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. Just it's ISO middies. ISO
Yeah,
middies.
ISO
I
middies,
love
like
watching that.
finishing with length at the basket, and he's super scrawny,
But strong as
but
hell.
strong as hell, ball on a
Yeah.
string. Like it's very, very fun to watch. Very fun to watch.
No, I
Unfortunately,
agree.
he couldn't play in Game 7. I also don't know what his deal with it. I think it was a heel, and if he's not playing in Game 7 because of his heel, he's soft as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Kobe
That's
would have
fair.
played. KD probably
Kobe
not.
tried to
But
play.
Kobe tried to play.
Torn
So,
Achilles.
so yeah, what else you got? Anything else?
Not really.
You got anything else you wanna talk about before we wrap it up?
Um, no, because I think I could talk about the Celtics for way too long, and I don't want. I'm kind of been at peace, enjoying not talking about them.
Mm.
Um, but
Awesome, bro.
no,
Well,
I don't think
we
it's
appreciate you
good.
making the time today and coming on, and appreciate catching up. It's good to hear that you're killing it right now. Had a great season this year with Hood. Obviously, good luck this summer with FC Buffalo. And
Yep.
yeah, we're looking forward to keeping tabs on how you're doing and how you're climbing up the ranks and everything, bro. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun, and everyone do it again. I'm always around.
Oh
So,
yeah, bro. Take care, man.
guys, see
Peace.
you guys later.